Hello guys and welcome to my new video, and today we're going to talk about the state of Colorado and how it shifted over the course of the last few years and few decades as well, because this change started in 2004 when George W. Bush won the election, won the state of Colorado as well, but now it's overwhelmingly a Democratic state, not anymore a competitive swing state like it was before. Even when Mitt Romney barely lost it in 2012, it was still a competitive state. When Trump lost it in 2016, Trump lost it by only 4 points, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check here. So he lost by 5 points. And then Biden came in a very bad environment for President Trump at that time. And then he won by around 10 points. I'm sorry. No, 13 points. And then Kamala did a slightly poorer, but it was still great margin, 11 points. So how Colorado changed, why it changed, and how can this explain that his counterpart Utah had also changed a lot. Okay, I'm gonna explain about Utah in another video, but today the video is about Colorado. Okay, it's the square state in the United States of America. As you can see here is a perfect square, almost, because see you have some things that are not squared at all, but okay, for the sake of the argument, it's a square. So Kamala won by 11. And why did it happen? Look, Colorado shifted 15.7 points since 2004 and 2024. So in 20 years, it shifted almost 16 points. You can see that you have actually Utah at a highest margin, but it was because of other reasons we're going to talk about in another video, as I said before. Okay, so you can open Colorado, and now you see the shift. So you can see that this part here are actually more Trump. So the rural part of Colorado is actually more Trump than it was before in 2024. But the problem is the city of Denver, 16 points to the Democrats, and then the suburbs around it, Arapahoe County, okay, 24 points. Jefferson County 25 points, Butler County 22 points, and Adams County 7 points. So you can see here the suburbs as well as El Paso County, Colorado Springs, if I'm not mistaken exactly. It's also it's now still a very Republican county, but it actually has been trending a lot. So 10 points, and here it was 11. So it actually trended to Harris in the previous election. You can see the suburbs changed Colorado forever. Not only they grew more democratic, but they grew much faster than the state as a whole. Okay, as you can see here, population matters. So I just want to compare population. Let's just go over here and go to 2020, 2004, and see the votes. So we can see here we got in Arapahoe County 219,000 votes. Right now we have over 400,000. So this is the difference, okay? Oh, no, not 400,000, 300,000, I'm sorry. 315,000. So you can see the difference. So we got from 219 to 315. That's 100,000 votes. So that's a difference of about 50% increase in just 20 years, okay? And that's what I mean. Not only these counties are now much more democratic, but they also grew faster. You can just go here, for example, 220,000, and it was here not even 150. So from 150 to 220, and not almost 100% growth. And this can explain by a lot of issues, okay? People are moving from liberal states, from democratic states to Colorado in hopes of a better life, okay? As of course you're not moving for a worse life. And also they have democratic governors for a long time, and that can change the state. And Colorado has, since 2018, the first gay governor in many years. I'm sorry, in his history. And this can be important. So you can elect a person like that. So you mean you are progressive. You're open to the new things. You're open to change. You're open to respect those people, because you need to respect them, whether you like it or not. It's about respecting. And this is actually very important. So this can change. This can sign. This can send a sign that Colorado is actually very liberal, and it is liberal. In 2022, we got the Republican governor that was actually, Republican candidate for governor is actually sympathetic of that issue. Okay, and Republicans probably didn't like him, but it was according to his state. And Colorado is becoming much more liberal, much more suburban located. Okay, the suburbs grew faster, and that's why most people are concentrated there. And instead of his counterpart, Wyoming, Colorado is developing. Okay, and he can explain a lot of issues, not because it's Democratic and the other one is Republican, but he has some issues, okay? Colorado has much better conditions to grow, and he still has a lot of space here to grow more, and for Colorado Springs in the near future to actually flip from a Republican county to a Democratic county. Okay, for example, year 16, and then Trump only won this by 10, not even 10, 9.8. Okay, and we can see more in the future. You can see this margin even growing to 20 or 25 points because Colorado Springs will eventually become much more Democratic or less Republican, and this part here in the special city of Denver growing very fast. And as you can see here, very weird shape, as you can see here, and it's overwhelming Democratic. I know if you consider to 2016, Clinton did great, but Kamala did better, okay? But it was not part of Denver, so Colorado can argue two things. It was not because of Denver city that Colorado is not much bluer. Of course, it is a part, but it's not the big part. It's because of the suburbs. Like it happened for Colorado is a little bit of a mirror of what happened in Virginia, for example. Look at this. Virginia was it's still very close because Kamala did poorly, but if you compare to Biden won by 10. As Bamberger won by 17, okay? I know the environment matters, but not only that, it is a shift. This is happening primarily in states that have democratic suburban voters that are increasing, okay? You saw that in Virginia, you saw that in Colorado, you saw that in Georgia, you saw that in Arizona, you saw that in those three states primarily, okay? And that is important. So you can argue, if you think about it, that maybe Texas, we could see that in Texas. I already have a video about that. Yes, we could see that. But there's a very big difference. Trump erased all the gains the Democrats made in Texas over the course of the last 20 years, okay? And then you go, for example, to Georgia. Trump won it, but it's still trending blue. And I suspect, at least that's my prediction, that John Ossoff is going to win for senator in this year. And also the gubernatorial candidate for the Democrats will going to win the state. That's my prediction, okay? And then you move, for example, to states like Utah. I mean, Utah is still overwhelmingly Republican, but it's still trending blue, okay? Why? Because of many counties around its Salt Lake City, and for example, Utah County is still overwhelmingly, but you have all the rural parts, but it's still trending, okay? So you have many of these states trending in the way the Democrats really want, but you also have the opposite direction, many blue predominantly states like New York and many of the New England states that we saw in the previous video as well that are trending red. So we need to see a balance of those things and actually see how the future is going to be and how the speed of the change is going to be, because Florida changed because of Latino. Colorado still have a Latino population significantly, but New Mexico as well. And New Mexico is a different story, as you can see here. It shifted much less than Colorado. Why? Because it has Latino population. If you consider here from just, I don't know, maybe from 2016, since Trump 2012, New Mexico actually shifted left because of the Latino population shifting towards Trump, okay? Guys, and I think this was the video. We talked a little bit about Colorado, the reasons why it shifted, and what might happen in other states like Georgia, Texas, maybe North Carolina at some degree, and probably some others as well. And Utah in like 30 or 40 years from now. You can judge me for that. We'll see that in many years from now, because I'll probably be right. And guys, this was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Don't forget to also leave your like to support the channel and help us grow to 1,000 subscribers by your end. And I hope to see you on Friday on another amazing video. I hope so. Thank you and see you.